Good morning. Welcome to our Christ-centered yoga practice. It's been so awesome to be able to take an hour and move and breathe and connect our heart and our body and our breath, and use that as a way to worship God and to have devotion to Him. So, as always, we start with a passage of scripture and then a breath prayer that goes with that. And then we'll finish up our class with a little bit longer meditation, doing a lectio divina over this passage of scripture where we'll listen to it through three times and see what speaks to you for today. So our passage today is the second half of Psalm 16. So we'll start in verse 7 and go through 11. So I'll read it and then we'll talk about the breath prayer and then we'll move into our practice. I will praise the Lord who counsels me. Even at night, my heart instructs me. I have set the Lord always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I will not be shaken. Therefore, my heart is glad and my tongue rejoices. My body also will rest secure. Because you will not abandon me to the grave, nor will you let your Holy One see decay. You have made known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand. And so I was thinking our breath prayer, at least the one that I'm going to use, you're free to use whatever you want, is God at my right, where it says, because he's at my right hand. So God at my right, I am secure. So as we inhale, we'll breathe in with God at my right. Exhale, I am secure. Because it talks about I will not be shaken. My body will rest secure. So with God at my right, I am secure. Okay. So as you're breathing, use that breath prayer and see if our heart and our mind and our body and our soul can come into alignment with understanding that with God at our right, we are secure. Even if it doesn't feel like it, he is the one. He is the one who decides. He's the one with the plans. He's the one who makes it all happen. We are secure. So let's come onto our mats. Let's actually start on our backs today. We're just going to receive this truth. You can have your knees bent if you'd like, or you can have them straight, whatever you need. Maybe open our hands to the sky. And we'll just come to notice our breath. Notice how your breath is indicating how your body's feeling this morning as you come onto your mat. Are you still sleepy or are you anxious? Just take notice. And as we feel ourselves start to settle down as we lay here, let's start to pay attention to our breath. Let's kind of make it a little more uniform. So we'll breathe in for 4 counts, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll exhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1. Exhale 1. Continue breathing like that, or whatever number matches your body today. And also just take a little notice of that little space at the top of your breath before it starts coming back down, and at the bottom of your breath before it starts coming back up. One more, just like that. And as you're laying here, even, can you almost imagine, can you envision God at your right hand? Throughout this whole practice, can you envision God at your right or your left? Obviously, it's not that specific. But with you. Can you see him, imagine him, or being with you throughout this practice? And lifting ourselves up onto our rears, let's come over around onto all fours into a tabletop position with our hands directly below our shoulders. Knees are directly below our hips. Fingers are wide. We're pressing down into the ground. We're not sinking into our shoulders here. Press down. And we'll do just a couple of cat-cows here. So as we inhale, we'll drop the belly, release the belly, open up the chest, lifting the tailbone, stretching. And then as we exhale, we pull our belly button to our spine, rounding the shoulders. It's a great neck stretch for me too. Inhale into cat-cow, sorry. And exhale. One more. Opening up. And pulling the belly button in. Good job. And let's just take a moment with our hips to kind of just pull them in a circle rotation. So that we kind of like pull our hips forward to the left, release them to the right. This is a really awesome stretch for me, at least, through this part of my body. So, and that also gets a little more in your shoulders, right? Let's go the other way. Good, and coming back to neutral, finding this good strong space, pulling the belly button to the spine. You feel strong through your core. Let's curl our toes under and press to our first down dog of the day. Oh yeah, right? I like to come up and down on my toes and then dropping my heels, kind of massaging my muscles into that stretch. Pressing my chest toward my thighs so that my ears can come in between my biceps. Maybe let's pedal it out just a little bit too. Maybe even imagine God doing this practice with you, like in his own down dog, pedaling out his feet with you. With God at my right, I am secure. Walking our feet up to our hands. We'll bring our feet hip width apart. With a micro bend in our knees, we'll grab our opposite elbows and just hang here in a ragdoll. You can nod your head yes. You can nod your head no. Shake your head no. Maybe circles a little bit. Just releasing our torso completely. And from here, we'll press back against our shins into a half lift, creating a long line from our head through our tailbone, drawing the shoulders down and back. And release, forward fold. Let's find our first flow of the day. So as we inhale to flat back, we say, with God at my right, and we exhale, forward fold. I am secure. So let's let's bring our, my mind just blinked. Let's breathe our movement with our breath, with that breath prayer. So inhale with God at my right. Exhale, I am secure. Inhale, half lift with God at my right. I am secure. Let's take one more. Inhale. And exhale. With a little bend in your knee, we'll come up with a flat back all the way to standing. First, really high reach and stretch up to the sky. And bringing the hands to heart center. Let's do that again. Arms come up. And this time as we exhale, we'll open up our chest And heart and arms to cactus. Greeting the Lord. Arms come up. Hands to heart center. Good job. One more of those. Inhale. With God at my right. Exhale. I am secure. With God at my right. I am secure. Hang out here one time with one breath. From here, we're going to sit back into our first chair of the day. So our knees are going to stay where they are, and our booty's going to go back, as opposed to knees coming forward, right? Knees stay where they are, booty comes back. Holding the belly button to the spine, drawing the shoulders down. You're not super arched, nor are you tucked. You're just right neutral. We're building a little bit of heat. Pull the femurs right up into your hip sockets. Nice and straight back. Just building some heat. Go to your breath prayer if you get tired. And let's stand straight up with God at my right. Open to cactus. I am secure. With God at my right. Hands to heart center. I am secure. Good. Let's take our right foot forward. We're going to do another little flow. Our right foot is forward. Our left foot is back. And just our toes are on the ground. Our heel is up in the back. Okay. So we're here. We're going to come forward into, and we've got a long straight leg here. This is a good first stretch, right? That's why we're going to flow into it and use a little bit of motion as lotion for our muscles and our joints. So we're going to reach our arms back and tilt our bodies forward, not rounded, right? We just took it straight from our hips forward. Reach, and then we'll come up to crescent. And then we'll exhale to flight, reaching those hands back. And then we inhale to crescent. And then we float to fly. Inhale to crescent. One more. This time, let's pull our foot up to meet the front foot. Again, open to cactus. Reaching the arms high with the inhale. Hands to heart center on the exhale. Taking one breath here. And we'll take our right foot back and do the same thing on our right foot. So first, let's get that nice little stretch in that hip flexor. And then we'll fly, tilting our body forward from the hips. Inhale up to crescent. Exhale to flight. Inhale. Exhale, driving those shoulders back and down. Up you go. One more. This time we'll pull our foot up to meet the front foot. Inhale, big exhale with the cactus arms, opening your heart toward God. Believing you are secure. Inhale with God at my right. Exhale, hands to heart center. Now we're going to do just a couple of chaturangas. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Hold it here. Press down through the floor. Expanding the shoulder blades across the back so you're not sinking into your shoulders again. Push up. Belly button is tight. Everybody brings their knees to the floor. Spinning the insides of our elbows forward. We're going to bend our elbows and come all the way to the floor. We'll inhale up to cobra. And back to down dog. Taking 2 breaths here. Walking or stepping or jumping our feet to our hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, standing all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's go again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. In this next chaturanga, you can do it on your knees or your toes, coming forward to plank, knees or toes. Exhale, chaturanga, knees or toes. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, down dog. 2 breaths here. And walking, stepping, or hopping our feet to our hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll go one more time. Inhale it. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, coming forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga on your knees or your toes. Exhale, inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Let's take our right leg to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip. Just get a little stretch here. You might be able to drop your left heel into the ground a little deeper by doing that. And let's switch legs. Left leg comes up. Ooh, a little pop in my hip. Bend the knee, open the hip, drop that right heel into the ground. And coming to down dog. Let's pull that right knee to our nose. And then we'll place that foot between our hands, dropping the back knee. Let's come into Anjaneyasana just a little bit here. So our arms come up, hips are pressed forward, making sure your knee is directly over your ankle, right? You don't want to be here. It's putting a lot of pressure on your kneecap. So move your foot forward if you need to. Let's open the cactus again. That is feeling good today. You go. And then we're going to curl our back toes under, long leg. In the back, coming up to crescent. We've been here already, sinking into that. And then let's take our right hand to our right hip for our first twist of the day. Left hand goes outside the right leg for a little twist. If you'd like something deeper, you can hinge from there in your hips and put your hands together in prayer. Breathe. With God at my right, I am secure. And bringing our hands to the ground, we'll press back to down dog. Stay here or go to child's pose, whatever is helping you with settling down, or take a vinyasa with me. We'll all meet in down dog. This time we'll take our left knee to our nose for a moment, and then place our left knee or left foot in between our hands, dropping the back knee so that your knee is directly over your heel, right? Not in front of it. Adjust your foot if needed. And then coming on up to Anjaneyasana. And then we'll open up our chest with cactus arms. So many heart openers. Arms come up, hands to the floor. Those heart openers I feel like are really good. You're lifting the back knee. Really good for a day that we're doing a devotional practice, right? We want to open our heart to God. So to just crack that chest and heart open. You might find yourself a little more emotional with that, but I think it's good for us. In this context, coming up to crescent, nice and strong. And then taking our left hand to our left hip, our right hand outside of our left leg. And then that's a good twist there. If you'd like more, hinge from the hips at that point. If you'd like more, go ahead and take your hands to prayer and get a deeper stretch, deeper twist, a little bit of leverage. And bringing our hands to the ground, we'll press to down dog. Nice and slowly, or child pose if you'd like a little break, if that's going to fill you with most life, or come forward in a chaturanga with me. And meeting in down dog. Nice work. We'll take our right leg to the sky again, opening up the hip, a little stretchy stretch. If you bend that knee, you might feel a little stretch in your quad. Switching legs. Left leg comes up. Open up the hip. Bending the knee, dropping the heel. And coming back to down dog. All right, this time we'll take our knee to our right knee to our nose, placing it between our feet, dropping the back heel all the way down. We're going to come up into warrior two. So cartwheeling our arms up into warrior two. Your front heel should match up with your back arch, rib cage. If you find yourself here, whoop, pull it right back so your ribs are right above your hips. Arms are out and strong in a T. Somebody's pulling your fingers out. Don't think about lifting your arms. Think about pulling your arms out. And then sink into it as you gaze at your right hand. Flipping the front hand, let's come into reverse warrior, getting taller before you come back. Don't just dump into your side, get tall. Think tall and expansive. Coming back through warrior two, we'll come into side angle. So whether your elbow is on your right knee or you're reaching for the floor, or if you've got it, you can take the bind. I don't really got it, sort of got it. And from here, we're gonna lift that front foot, lift that front leg into triangle. Changes the stretch, right? I feel it big time here through my left side. Imagine yourself pressing against something with your front hand forward. That's going to help open up your chest and take a gaze at the left hand. And circling the arm down, we're just going to come to a straddle stretch here in the middle. So turning both your toes toward this long edge of your mat and just hanging down. You can press your hands into the floor. That might help you get a little leverage. Release into those hamstrings and hips. Release your neck. And then we're gonna walk over to our left side. And we're just gonna do the same thing, but with our left foot in front, or left knee bent, because we're coming into warrior two first, right? So your front toes are facing, the left toes are facing the top of your mat. The right toes are facing the long edge of your mat, and we come up into our warrior two. Again, pull the torso back, sink into that front leg. The right leg is strong and long. Arms are longer. Gazing at that left hand. And we'll flip the front hand, getting taller as we come back into reverse warrior. Think of getting long, taller. Sink into that front leg. Coming back through the middle, we'll come into our side angle. Left elbow to left knee, right arm to the sky. You can take your left hand to the floor. If you've got it, you can take the bind, reaching behind you and reaching under your leg. I'm cheating by coming so far forward. Oh, I can't quite reach. We'll stay here. Again, pressing against that window that's in front of you to open up the shoulders a little bit more, the collarbone a little bit more. And then we'll straighten up that front leg. Pressing the hips back to the right. Really getting an amazing stretch in that right side. Taking a gaze up at your right hand, if that's available to you. And circling our arm down, we'll come to that straddle again. This time, maybe take your peace fingers around your big toes for a little leverage to pull your torso closer to your legs. We're going to stay down here. We're going to toe heel our feet a little bit closer together. Toes come out a little, and then we're going to drop our hips into Malasana. Making sure our knees are going in the same direction as our toes, right? You don't want your knees coming way further in than your toes or further out. Make sure they're tracking in the same direction. Just breathing, we're just moving. We're just lubricating these hip joints, right? Releasing the tendons and the muscles and things that are surrounding it. Putting lotion in there so that our hips have more flexibility, more stability and flexibility. Good job. Hands to the floor. We'll come up to straight legs, toes pointing the long edge of your mat. Hands to your hips with a perfectly flat back. We'll come up to standing. And let's see. We're going to do one more. We're going to do a pyramid stretch too. It's going to be good. Okay. So let's do a little pyramid stretch. Right foot is forward, left foot is back. And actually, we'll just take, we haven't done a warrior one. I would really like us to. So warrior one, our big toe, front toes are facing the top of the mat. Our back toes are facing at like 10 o'clock. Hips are as much facing forward as you can. Torso's facing forward, arms up. Sink into that. God at my right. I am secure. And then we'll straighten that front leg. If you need to narrow your stance a little bit, that's fine. We're going to square our hips, pull our belly button in, keep the length between our hip bone and our rib bone. And we're going to come straight forward into a pyramid. stretch. Coming as far forward as you can with a flat back. You might be able to come to your thigh, maybe your shin, maybe the floor. And when you find that spot, then you're going to gently draw that right hip back. You can even take your hand into your hip flexor and just sort of massage that hip bone back. And from here, we're going to bend the front leg. We're going to move into a little balancing pose. So you're going to take that left leg up to the sky into a 3-point balance. So as high as you can go is great. You're pressing down into the floor in order to lift up through your foot. And then we'll bring our foot down to the floor, into forward fold, and we'll take our right foot back. And we'll come up, bending the front leg. We're going to come up into our warrior one. So adjust our feet. Now our back toes are facing at 2 o'clock. Front toes are at 12. As best we can, we're turning our hips forward, our rib cage forward. And we reach up to the sky. And feel that power in that back leg especially. And we'll straighten that front leg, adjust your feet if you need to, maybe a little closer together. Squaring off the hips, rib cage is lifted. We keep this space the same as we come forward. Don't let that space shrink. Pulling, and once you find your sweet spot, I was a little too low, with your back flat, then you're gonna just take your hand into the crease of your hip and gently massage it backward. From here, we'll bend that front leg a little bit. We're going to take that same 3-point balance with your hands on the floor, or if you have a chair for balance or some blocks, we're going to take our right leg to the sky. Pressing down through the ground in order to lift our foot. We'll bring our feet down together or hip width apart. With a bend in our knees, flat back, come up to standing. And we'll find our Tadasana here. Kneecaps are lifted, tailbone is relaxed, belly button pulled in, rib cage up, shoulders back and down. God at my right, I am secure. Nice. Coming to face me. We're gonna do a little balance pose, one more. So you're gonna be standing on your right foot. We're gonna lift our left foot off the floor and create a figure 4. You can bend your knee a little bit for sure. And then from here, we'll bring our hands to heart center and we'll sit back. If you need to hold on to a chair, that's perfectly fine. This is a big stretch for our hip, right? Your left hip. Flex that front foot to protect the knee. Hopefully this pressing down on your femur, on your knee, is giving you a little stability. It's like this opposite action, right? Pulling shoulders back and down, belly button's pulled in. Find a sweet spot in there. Now I want you to pull your hips together, right? So don't let a hip come out to the side or the other side. Just pull them both in, pull them toward each other. And standing up, we'll switch legs, shake it out a little. This time standing on your left leg, lifting your right, I'm mirroring you. Bringing the foot, figure 4 across the top of your leg and sitting back. Try and have your toes, your bottom toes facing me, right? Not out to the side like this. All the little pieces, right? Sitting back. Now, imagine your hips. Are they to the side or to the other side? Pull them together and sink a little deeper. And coming up and out of it. Let's find one more breath here. Coming back to our breath. Back to our body. God at my right. I am secure. We're going to make our way down to the ground now. So coming to the top of our mat, we're going to inhale our arms to the sky. We're going to exhale, open to cactus again. Oh, yeah. Inhale up to the sky, and this time we'll forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to plank. Nice. From here, I would like us to take our right knee to the floor, open toward the left side, and we're going to come into a supported half plank. So your whole entire left foot is on the ground. If you would like some more, you can pick up that right foot, tuck it in behind the left, really pushing those hips up to the sky, pushing out through the hand, reaching for the sky with that left. If your knee is down, you're still getting a good oblique workout here. This is great. Everybody brings their knee to the floor, and we come back through tabletop. We'll come back into plank, and we'll go to the other side. So if you're in plank and you just want to go straight to your right side plank, that's perfectly fine. Or take your left knee to the floor, open toward the right side of the mat, plant that whole entire right foot into the floor, and then get tall. From there, if you'd like some more and you're not already at the full side plank, you can pick up that left foot. And bringing our knee to the ground, coming back through tabletop. Let's push back into child's pose for just a moment. We're going to do one more last stretch here before we come all the way down. So we're going to come into plank, and then we're going to bring our right knee toward our right wrist into pigeon, half pigeon. If you would like, you can move this front foot forward just a little bit, but it really just depends on what your hip allows. The goal is to sit right up on top of your hips and stretch this right hip out. So maybe walking that back foot back a little bit. Once you find a good stretch here, you're welcome to stay right there, or you can take it down. Maybe stack your wrists, lay your forehead on the top of them. Breathe into where it's tight. Exhale and release. pressing back up. We'll come back to a down dog. Shaking everything out. This time we'll come forward to plank, and then we'll bring our left knee to our left hand. And then walk our foot back maybe a little bit. Draw that left foot forward a little bit maybe, whatever is feeling good in your body. The goal is this stretch. So if this is not happening for you at all, you definitely be in a figure four here to stretch out that hip as well. If you are in pigeon, you're welcome to come down on your elbows, stack the wrists or the fists, sink into it. And coming back up and out of that, we're going to come down on all the way onto our bellies for a little spinal extension. So feet are flat on the ground. Hands are reaching behind you. Hands face to the floor. And as we reach toward our feet with our hands, it draws our chest and shoulders up. And then if you'd like some more spinal extension, you're going to flex your glutes and lift those feet up off the floor. So good. And we release one cheek to the floor. Wiggle out our hips a little bit. And you are welcome to do that same exact thing one more time, or if you have more flexibility in your back, you're welcome to join me for a full bow. So we'll bend both of our feet, reaching back for them, and then we'll kick into our hands, which draws our shoulders back, our chest up, and our feet up, drawing the knees together. And release the other cheek to the ground. Releasing the feet and shaking the hips back and forth. And we'll press back into another child's pose to really give us a great back release. Breathing in our breath prayer. God at my right. I am secure. Breathe a couple of those breaths. And coming up out of that, woo, let's do a little bit of cat-cow too. That actually felt really good right there. So coming into our tabletop, we'll do a little bit of cat-cow. Dropping the belly gently maybe. And then pulling your belly back into the spine. Gently maybe. Just nice, gentle massage for the spine articulation. All right, let's come around onto our booties. Legs are out in front of us. Hands press down into the ground. Feet reach for the far wall, right? Head reaches through the ceiling. Hands press down through the floor. Sitting incredibly tall. This is called stack pose. It's still and powerful. It is still. And then let's walk our hands out toward our feet as far as we can go. For a forward fold from this orientation of sitting on the floor. So it's the same forward fold as when we're standing up, it just feels completely different because we're coming at it from a different direction. And coming back up out of that gently. We're going to take a little body twist. So pulling our left knee into our pelvis as close as it will go without us having to do this, right? Sitting nice and tall. We get taller as we twist toward that left leg, reaching back with our left hand. You're welcome to hug your left leg with your right elbow. And we inhale. We've got it my right. We exhale. I am secure. I can release. And we release back to the center, straighten out that leg, pull in the other leg. Sitting up taller before we twist. Our hand comes down behind us. We can give that arm, leg a little hug. If you'd like to, you can take your elbow on the outside of your knee if that is allowable in your body. And coming back through to the center, we're going to do a quick little boat, little ab engagement. So knees are bent, tipping back onto that sits, well, just past the sits bones, between your tailbone and your sitting bones. Shoulders are backing down. Back is perfectly straight. None of this. Pull a string up through your collarbone or through your breastbone. And then if you'd like to, lift those legs. And then if you'd like to, reach those hands. And then if you'd like to, straighten those legs. Whatever is that little shaky shake part for you. God on my right. I am secure. One more breath. And we release. Coming into butterfly position, bringing our soles of our feet together, the knees out to the side. And release. Coming back up, it's time to roll onto our backs. Let's start by pulling our knees to our chest. It's such a beautiful back massage. When I do that, I push my shoulders down onto the mat, which automatically draws my entire low back onto the mat as well. And that, it feels so good. I'm going to massage myself by rocking back and forth. Those back muscles and glute muscles and where they all connect work so hard for us all day long. Nice to rub them out just a little bit. We're going to work our glutes one more time though with a little bridge. So placing our feet on the floor as close to our hips as we can, maybe even reaching for your heels with your fingertips, pressing them into the ground. We're going to move up with our glutes, hamstrings, and back muscles into bridge. Can you plant your entire foot on the floor, equal weight? It's not on the outside or the inside, it's just across the entire foot. And use that to press your hips even higher. And release nice and gently. We'll windshield our legs back and forth for just a moment. We're going to do that one more time. Coming back to neutral. This time, if you want to, you can roll your shoulder blades underneath your back, and even clasp your hands if you'd like a little more weight. So we press up through our feet, roll our shoulders underneath, clasp our hands if you would like to, and get a beautiful stretch through the entire back body. Releasing your throat. Let go of that tightness. And gently release your hands, release your hips. And we'll do one more windshield wiper here. This time we'll come up into a happy baby. So grabbing your big toes with your peace fingers, pulling the knees toward your armpits, feeling a really great stretch there. Again, putting that whole sacrum, that whole triangle at the back of your hips on the ground, even if it means you can only hold here, right? Try and keep the entire low back on the floor. What a beautiful massage that is, rolling back and forth. Couple deep breaths as we bring our practice down to our time for meditation. Take one more spinal twist. So bringing our knee to our chest. We're going to draw a right knee to our chest. We're going to draw that right knee to the left side of our body. Reaching that right arm out to the side into a T. If you need to adjust your shoulder blades a little bit, you can. And take a gaze at your right hand, getting an awesome spinal twist. And drawing that knee back in, nice and gentle. One last little hug. And releasing it to the ground. My breath is really starting to deepen and clear now, and it feels so good. Pulling that left knee to your chest. Drawing the left knee across your body to the right. Reaching out with that left hand to a T and gazing at that left hand. You can adjust your shoulders if need be so that they're flatter on the floor. And pulling that knee back into your chest. One last big hug for that leg. And releasing our feet to the floor. We're going to stay in Shavasana for 1 minute before we start our lectio divina. Just receiving the practice, receiving the stretch, receiving the breath prayer. Letting it permeate into every cell, into every reflex, every instinct of our body. God at my right, I am secure. And as we come back to ourselves, we're going to move into our time of meditation now. So if Shavasana is treating you well, stay right there. If you'd like to take your legs up a wall, if you'd like to find a cushion and sit in easy pose, whatever is best for you to be able to meditate, to consider these verses that I'm going to read for God to speak to your heart. So find your comfortable position and I'll read these verses. The first time I read them, I want you just to receive it. You don't need to do any work in it. I will praise the Lord who counsels me. Even at night, my heart instructs me. I have set the Lord always before me because he is at my right hand. I will not be shaken. Therefore, my heart is glad and my tongue rejoices. My body also will rest secure, because you will not abandon me to the grave, nor will you let your Holy One see decay. You have made known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand. So let's just sit with that for about 30 seconds. Just let it permeate, the Word of God permeate into you. And as I read it a second time, consider if there's a word or a phrase that sticks out to you. I like to say that like shimmers for you. It's sort of calling to you. See if there's something for you in this. I will praise the Lord who counsels me. Even at night, my heart instructs me. I have set the Lord always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I will not be shaken. Therefore, my heart is glad and my tongue rejoices. My body also will rest secure, because you will not abandon me to the grave, nor will you let your Holy One see decay. You have made known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand. What is the word or phrase that's sort of calling out to you, that's has a little spotlight on it? Consider that for just a moment. And as I read this one last time, let's consider, is there an invitation for you today? Is there something that you feel like God is showing you that you might want to spend some time thinking about, that you might just want to consider, that you might want to step into? I will praise the Lord who counsels me. Even at night, my heart instructs me. I have set the Lord always before me, because he is at my right hand. I will not be shaken. Therefore, my heart is glad and my tongue rejoices. My body also will rest secure, because you will not abandon me to the grave, nor will you let your Holy One see decay. You have made known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand. So as we close our practice, consider, is there an invitation in there for you? I'm not going to pull us out of our practice here. I want you to be able to stay in your space with God until he releases you. So with that, thank you for being here today. Pray that you would know that God, with God at your right hand, you are absolutely and totally secure. See you next week.